Hey there, guys. It's just after 9 o'clock, Thursday night. I was going through all my videos on multiple devices where I've saved, and I had not posted it to YouTube yet, but I realized that I had the call recorded Monday morning where I called up before I went up and filed my FOIA request with Joel and everything, or Monday or Tuesday, whatever. Anyway, where I told her when she called me saying that that packet was ready for me to pick up, I told Miss Deb that I had a very busy week planned with doctor's appointments for my mother, uh, Tuesday and Wednesday, uh, and that I would be up there first thing Thursday morning to pick up that packet, which was actually, just for the record, so everyone knows exactly what that packet was. It is an officer complaint form, an official officer complaint form. Now, they knew I was going to be up there bright and early Thursday to pick up this officer complaint form, which she referred to as a packet, on Dakota. They also knew that I had doctor's appointments Tuesday and Wednesday with my mother. Okay? Now, let me explain something, guys. Jack is such a bad, bad man that immediately upon them getting that back in their hand, apparently without even filing it, they had to run down here and make damn sure that they arrested me before I took my mother to jail. Okay. Now, I'm going to elaborate on this just a little bit, just so everyone understands the level of bullshit that we're dealing with here in town. Everyone that knows me here around town knows that I'm the guy who'll sit down and talk to you about anything. We can hash out whatever. We might not agree on it, but we're both going to learn some things along the way. Now, all you guys understand that keep up with my videos that I'm in pretty, uh, I won't say constant contact, but I maintain an open channel of communication with City Hall. If that warrant which they issued was so important that they had to run down here and arrest me before I took my mother to her doctor's appointment, and I can see their point because Jack is such a dangerous individual, and him being out taking his mother to a doctor's appointment is a true threat to public safety. Okay? But I'm going to elaborate on something. You guys recognize the sarcasm in my voice there. And some of you will recognize in my voice that I'm actually tired as shit because I've had an off and on migraine ever since yesterday afternoon after getting out of jail. But I'm going to elaborate on something. How many of you have heard Miss Deb say, "Take care of your mother, Jack," when I leave City Hall? She's always wanting to act like that. She is. I'm trying really hard not to use bad language here. I hope you guys who really know me will appreciate this because there's a side of Jack that wants to snap like a cracker right now and refer to her as what she actually is. And that is lower than whale shit on the bottom of the ocean. Okay? That's how much concern for the elderly that Miss Deb, little sweet Miss Deb, always there to help you as long as you're kissing her ass. That's how much concern she actually has for the elderly. Along with your chief of police, Dakota Burks, the one I called a lying piece of shit because Dakota Burks is a lying piece of shit. I'm going to prove that so many ways you guys have no idea. Okay, I know about the people that he's picked up here around town and carted other places before taking them to jail in direct violation of what he's supposed to be doing. And we're talking about people with felony warrants. Matter of fact, I explained to a friend of mine today just how much of a dick Jack is. Okay? Some of my friends know the young lady that I've dated off and on for a little while. She's got a little bit of a criminal past, and she's been a little bit of trouble in her past. Now, she's been on probation for quite some time. And there's a side of her that really needs to straighten out and do right. She's not doing anything extreme, okay, but she just won't get her shit together. You guys know people like that, okay? And why does Jack deal with that? Because I see a good side in her. I see a really, really good individual within her that took a path that wasn't right. She got in trouble. And with the way the system has treated her in combination with her medical issues, etc., it's created a person that needs a little bit of help to get back on their path. Now, anyway, this young lady is a convicted felon. She was on probation. She had a warrant outstanding for absconding. She didn't go see her probation officer, even though I chewed her ass about it and said, Loretta, you best go see your goddamn probation officer. You know I ain't fucking with you. I ain't playing with you, because Jack don't play. That's just Jack. Jack don't play. But she didn't do the proper thing. So they issued a warrant for her arrest. When that happened, me and her were going through a little spat because she just didn't want to behave properly. It's what it boils down to, okay? But me and her were going through a spat. One of our things that we've done several times, there's never any violence or anything. Jack ain't that dude. Jack is not the dude that's going to whoop your ass to make you do right. I ain't that dude. There are too many other tools in my little tool chest over here. But we were going through a spat. Dakota picked her up. Her name is Loretta. Okay? He picked her up over here on North Grand right after I had just driven by her. I drove right by her and left her walking down the street just like she was when I drove by. Come along. When I come along, she's walking down the street, pissed off at the world, and I drove right by and kind of giggled, and I rolled my ass toward the house. I was like, yep, there you go. That's what you get. If you're gonna act like a retard, I'm gonna make you walk down the street, and that's the way it's gonna be. Well, unbeknownst to me at the time, right after I passed her, well, actually, I met Dakota. Went past him up here, right by the railroad tracks. Well, Dakota went right down there. He saw Loretta walking on the side of the road, knew that she had a warrant for her arrest. Dakota doesn't really like me to begin with, okay? But he picked Loretta up, and I understand. I ain't got no problems with it. She had a warrant for arrest. It is what it is. But he picked her up, and he took her to jail for absconding. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. According to everything that I've been told by Loretta, he didn't just pick her up. He picked her up, placed her under arrest for absconding, informed her that she had a warrant for arrest for absconding, which is more than he did for me. You guys saw that he couldn't tell me what my warrant was for. He couldn't tell me a bond, anything, okay? If I had known what my bond was, I would have walked back in the house and got enough money that when I walked through the jail up there, they would have never had to do anything to me other than fingerprint me, pat my happy little ass on the back and say, good to see you, Jack. We know you're good, okay? But Dakota Burks couldn't go through that trouble because they were so goddamn happy to issue that warrant and haul me to jail before I could take my mother to her doctor's appointment. Okay? And if anyone thinks that there's anyone at our little shithole city hall that didn't know about it And I can picture them all up there. They're probably fucking giggling and laughing like a bunch of fucking retards on ice cream day. Okay, because that's about the mentality that we have up there, guys. You guys see that sweet little side of Miss Deb, oh, yada yada. As long as you're there giving those people, I'm going to use that phrase very loosely because this is scum that we are dealing with. This is the lowest level of humanity scum that we are dealing with. If you really look at it for what it is, they are scum. But as long as you are giving them your money and you're smiling and you're happy to do it, they are quite pleased and quite pleasant to deal with. But how many of you guys, like I did, back during this cold snap or right after it, this last winter, I received a very, very high water bill. Now, my water bill and trash averages about $57 a month right here where I live. My water bill was phenomenal. Right after that cold snap we had, that next one. Well, you guys know me. I ain't going to just say, what the hell, and give them a big old wad of cash without saying, hey, guys, what's happening here? So I call City Hall, and we get another meter reading. After we get another meter reading, my water bill is exactly where it should be. But when I called the City Hall, they're like, well, now, we've got a lot of people that have a high bill this month. Are you sure you don't have a leak? Let me tell you something about Jack's house. I don't leak water. I'm an old plumber. I know how to do a little bit. I know how to take care of water. I ain't leaking no water. On all the extreme weather that we've had for like the last 12 years, I have never, ever had a problem with a water line freezing because my shit is properly insulated. So I told them, no, my shit is tighter than Dick's hat band. I do not have leaks. You need to get somebody down here to read the meter right away because I'm not paying this water bill. Let me tell you right now, Jack is not paying this water bill. So they come back down and sent the meter reader, and now my water bill was pretty much exactly where it was supposed to be. But here's what me and Keith talked about earlier today. How many people, how many McRae residents during that exact same time frame, during that cold snap, had that really high water bill, and perhaps you did not have a leak. You just went up and paid McRae their little racketeering scheme because that, I mean, it is whatever they say it is, right, guys? After all, do we keep real records in McRae, Arkansas? I mean, for real, do we? Because anytime a citizen goes in there and wants to has any questions about things like that, then suddenly that citizen is the problem. Just like right now, Jack's the problem. And yes, I am going to be a problem. Because City Hall, guys, has shown their true colors in this little arrest that they pulled off of Jack Moore. Let's congratulate them. Let's all give them a gopher fucking clap, okay? Yes, and I said a gopher clap. Because that's what they deserve. I'm tempted to give them some more crayons for the ones that they've eaten while riding the short bus and licking the windows. Because what they have done here in view of the public, because I have documented basically everything through this little time frame here that we're going through, they have documented for the public how everybody at City Hall is all colluding and conspiring to withhold public records in violation of Arkansas law. And the city council's all in on it too. It can't go on for 2 years, guys, without the city council's involvement. You understand that, hopefully. But they're so happy to get that warrant through with that bullshit affidavit from Charles Bryant, which is a city employee. that they had to run down here and arrest Jack before he could take his mother to her doctor's appointment, even though my ass was out there changing a tire that I didn't know was flat until I basically walked out the door to get the truck ready to take my mom to Little Rock to her appointment. Okay? Her next available appointment for that doctor is next March, if my mom is still alive. My mother suffers from a muscle disorder. Some of you guys know it as tremors, where the old folks just shake and they shake and they shake. They're super unstable. Got to be real careful, make sure they don't fall and hurt themselves and all that. Yeah, that's my mama right now. And the doctor's appointment that she missed due to the actions of your chief of police here in town, Dakota Burks, our mayor, Joel Pruitt, our water lady, Miss Deb. Everybody knows Miss Deb, right? Your fabulous court clerk. Everybody knows our court clerk by now, Stacy, right? All you guys know the players of the game. And if you don't know Charles Bryant by now, if you don't know exactly who and what Charles Bryant is, well, you're going to learn exactly who and what Charles Bryant is. Charles has a very long history. I'm not the only one that knows exactly who and what Charles Bryant, our chief of our water department, is. And while we're talking about our water department, okay, I know a little something about our water department that you got. I'm betting almost nobody does. There are a few people here in town that know, but this is such a well-hidden secret that very few people know. And I'm not going to give a lot of details on it. All I'm going to say is this. Our previous head of our water department here in McRae, the fellow who Charles took his job here in McRae, you might want to research why he left McRae, Arkansas, in his position here. And I'm just saying, you might want to look into any criminal charges of the individual who left and Charles took his position. You guys might want to look into that, because when you really understand what's happening here in McRae, Arkansas, and the level and the depth of the corruption, when you really understand it, you have to say something. And guys, I'm going to say something, and this is just in general. Me and a lot of friends have been talking about this. Everybody wants to talk about the elections, like electing Donald Trump. Okay? Only approximately 48.6% of registered voters even voted in the last presidential election. Okay? Now, I believe, if memory serves me right, I'm getting old, I might be slipping a little bit. In 2020, I believe there were like 161.4 million registered voters in the United States, out of a country of over 300 million. Okay, so approximately, let's just for round numbers' sake, say that only half of the population of the United States are registered voters. Now, you've got the full amount here, right? Only half are registered voters. Now, less than half of those people are voting. That is why they have control of the system like they do. We cannot fix Washington, D.C. We can't. You could take the most pristine person that could not be bought, like myself. You can't buy Jack, I promise you. Okay? But you could take someone like Jack. You could take me and throw my ass into the cesspool that is Washington, D.C. And as hard as I try, I don't think I could stay clean. That's how bad Washington, D.C. is. We can't fix Washington, D.C. It's too far away. What we can do is we can fix our local governments. We can fix every local government. We're not going to fix this from the top down. It's not going to happen. The game's rigged against us. We're going to fix this from the bottom up. That's how we fix America. So either get in the boat and start rowing, or get out the damn way. Lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. That's what we say in the construction world, for those that don't know. Lead, follow, or get the out of the way. You feel me? But in closing, I would like to say, Miss Deb at City Hall, you have truly revealed yourself as the low-life piece of shit that you are, pretending to have concern about my mother, pretending. That fake little smile is so easy to display. That fake level of concern. Joel Pruitt, your obvious disdain for the citizens of this community that actually want to see a better community, these people should run you out of town. I mean, tar and feather your ass and run you out of town. And Dakota Burks, okay, there's not words for Dakota Burks right now. A person who should consider himself honorable, a law enforcement officer, someone who I would think as a law enforcement officer would want to see the fair treatment of your citizens in your town. But Dakota, you took that affidavit, you turned it over to the prosecuting attorney here in town, which is also a piece of shit, guys. Don't think that low-life piece of shit is any better than anybody else in this, okay? Because he's the one that chose to send that warrant or that affidavit over to the judge, and I don't know if the judge didn't even bother to read what he was signing and comprehend basic law, that you can not video or you cannot trespass anything that you can see from public or from your private property. If you can see it, you can certainly video it. Now, I don't know what kind of mentality, well, actually, I do understand the mentality that leads to this. This is an absolute system of corruption. Totally. People that know me know I fight for right. And you never know which hill Jack's going to choose to fight on, but you can always guarantee that I'm going to be fighting on the side that's right. Just like earlier when I explained that my girlfriend got picked up by the police. I'm such an asshole that I'm going to point out that in Dakota, instead of taking her to jail like he should have, he took her over here to her mother's, which let her get rid of some personal property. But it also potentially let her get rid of anything that she could have had on her that she would have gotten in trouble with at the jail. Law enforcement officers understand you don't play that. Either you're on the side of law and order or you're not. Now, further things that came to my attention, like we have unlicensed drivers here around town, which are permitted apparently by Dakota to drive. These people have permits, not a real driver's license, but a permit. They're allowed to drive around town on their permit without an accompanying driver. Now, those of us that understand the law understand what's going to happen to those people if they have an accident. Let's hope they don't. Okay? I ain't wishing bad on nobody. But your police chief here in town is directly responsible for what's happening here in town with the lawless behavior, the mistreatment of citizens. If he was a constitutional officer who actually believed in the letter of the law, he would let me talk to him about the law. He would research what I'm talking to him about, and he would make a decision, an intelligent decision, which I believe is beyond Dakota right now. It's beyond Mr. Burks, because he's just not that bright, guys. He's a great order taker, okay? Joel can order him to do anything he wants, and Dakota will jump through hoops. Matter of fact, I would highly recommend him for a job at McDonald's. That's how good he is at taking orders. On the drive-through line, he's that good. You give him an order, and if he thinks he's got any authority at all, he's going to jump through hoops. Okay? Meanwhile, he's putting people in danger. He's putting your families in danger because he will not do his job. But guys, it's late now. It's 9:30. I didn't mean for this to be this long. I have rambled a bit, but normally I'm in bed at 9 o'clock. But I wanted to break down for everyone, exactly what a complete piece of shit city hall you have here in McRae. If you don't like the fact that I say that proudly as an American and that it is my right, my God-given right, I don't give a damn about civil rights. It's my God-given right to say whatever I want. Then you can kiss my ass if you don't like it. If you agree with it, give me a hell yeah. Like and subscribe. Show a little support. I'm getting a lot of views. But help me get the message out there, guys. Because April 15th at City Hall, at City Council meeting rather, at City Council meeting, let's be clear, it's going to get live. Because Jack's going to get live. He'll be over this badass headache he's got right now. By then, hopefully. And we've got some choice words for City Hall. I'm allowed 3 minutes to speak. If we got a good crowd at City Hall, I might speak to those pieces of shit up there at City Council meeting for a minute, and then I'm fixing to turn around and I'm going to address our citizens of McRae, Arkansas. And let's see how much support you have then, City Hall. Let's see how much support you have when all the facts relating to this come out. You might even win in the court of law on some little trivial bullshit, but I'm going to fry your ass like a frog leg in the court of public opinion. You don't like it? I don't really give a damn. Y'all have a good night now. You hear?